Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the live demo of the Networked platform today. My name is Emmy. I am on the team here at Networked. I am going to be running us through our live demo here today. I say good morning, but also good afternoon or good evening. I know we've got quite a few time zones represented here today. Wonderful. Well, I know we're trickling in here, so I'm going to cover a couple housekeeping items before we get started. But just so that everybody knows, our demo today is going to happen in 4 segments. First one being a little bit of introduction about Networked. Second one, we'll also through some real life examples. And then third section, we'll just kind of feature all the way down in a logged in view of the platform. We will end with Q&A. Awesome. And apologies, I'm going to be moving around a little bit. I am live here, absolutely not pre-recorded. I am live here in sunny Austin, Texas. So my blinds are doing their best this morning. So if you see me wiggling, it's just so that one dot does not hit my eye. Wonderful. Well, a couple housekeeping items. As you can see, this is a group style setting. We do this so that we can accommodate as many live demos and Q&A sections during the week as possible, just to keep up. We very much value your questions. I absolutely value your questions. And I leave about 10 minutes at the end of these calls to answer any and all questions that you have. As we go through the demo, feel free to use the Q&A box that's at the bottom of your Zoom window. It should be right around there. It's got a question mark on it. Go ahead and click that open, submit any questions. I do my very best to answer them right when they get submitted. Every once in a while, we've moved past that section of the demo, in which case I answer those at the end. But all questions will get answered before we part ways today. And I look forward to hearing your questions. Wonderful. Last kind of housekeeping item, we are happy to offer, or I am happy to offer, one-on-one sessions with each and every person on our call here today. As you can see, I've got some contact information over my shoulder. Send me a text to that number, send me an email. Both of those emails go directly to me. But if you know you would like to schedule a second session, I would just recommend scanning that QR code. That takes you directly to my calendar. That's probably the fastest way to get on the calendar. All right, I think everybody's kind of trickled in. We're 4 minutes past. That's all of my housekeeping items for today. Let me go ahead and pull my screen up and we can get going. All right. Just a reminder for everybody who might have missed, please make use of that Q&A box. I have it open on my screen. I will be watching for any and all questions that come in. Alrighty, well, we are here today to talk about Networked. Hopefully that's not a surprise to anybody. If it is, welcome anyway. Networked is an AI-first online community platform. Essentially a very smart AI-powered login or engagement portal for your members. Now, I talked to dozens and dozens of community managers, community leaders in a week, and the biggest trend that I hear is that their members are going sometimes 6, 7, or 8 different places to get information about that organization. Just off the top of my head, I'm thinking newsletters, WhatsApp groups, landing pages or website, Zoom events, social media. That's 5 just off the top of my head. What Network provides is a place to consolidate all of that engagement into one login. Your members will have to log into one place, whether they're on their computer, on their phone, on their tablet, and they can engage with you on multiple levels, not just join the event, but they can also ask a question, watch a video, access resources, anything like that. You will hear me say members a lot. I like to just call this out at the top. To us here at Networked, your users, we refer to them as members of your community. I by no means am saying Networked is only for membership organizations. I'm just referring to the fact that the folks that are going to be on the platform are members of your community. They could really be anything: volunteers, parents, alumni, current students, folks involved in an accelerator, founders, customers, prospects, anything like that. Now, a little bit about Networked before we get started. So we launched in January of 2023. We're coming up on our third birthday. I definitely think I would definitely recommend knowing what we've got coming up for our third birthday. If you like what you see here today, stay in touch with us. I think you will like to see what we announce for our birthday. We work with about 4,000 communities to date, all different kinds of communities located all over the world, varying sizes, anything from 25 to quickly approaching six figures, adding 1,000 plus members a week. So lots and lots of different types of communities there. We've got all kinds of testimonials on our website, reviews on major review sites. If anybody has questions about current customers, definitely let me know and I will be able to share more as requested. Awesome. Well, let's go ahead and jump into our or I guess our second segment here, is the real life examples. Now you will see I've got a web window pulled up. Networked is available on the web. We're also available as a mobile app on both Apple and Android devices. I'm going to be running us through the demo on the web today. I think for screen share purposes, it's just a little bit easier on the eyes. If you have any questions about the mobile experience, definitely drop those into the Q&A box. But just know that the features are completely mirrored in both places. All of the customization is mirrored in both places, so your members can access however they would like, wherever they would like. Now we offer the networked access through the networked mobile app for no additional charge. We do offer a white labeled mobile app for our Networked Plus customers, and I can get into that a little bit more towards the end. But what we're looking at here are some landing pages of some real life communities on Networked. We're going to go through this and we're going to talk about three different types of customization. One being branding, the second being privacy, and the third being monetization. Now, just to situate us, all of these are landing pages. This is, what our customers link to their website, to their social, emails, anything like that. This is where members and new members are landing for the first time. You can see here we can sit on a custom domain. We've got logos and banners, images. We can change button colors, background colors, font colors, everything like that. So you can see everybody's a little bit different in what they like to show in their landing page. I also like to call attention to the menu bars. Those change community to community. That is really how the customization starts to be actualized to your members. So just to kind of give you a sense of what these look like, you can also see that Networked is available in other languages. If you need it available in, say, Spanish or French, we could absolutely accommodate that, and there's no additional charge for that. Alrighty, coming back to this one. Now, the second layer of customization we're talking about is privacy. Now, I'm not necessarily speaking to our privacy policy. I'm going to touch on that here shortly. I'm speaking specifically more for how visible or private would you like your community to be to the outside world. For example, we've got some communities on Networked who, for various reasons, really need their community to be locked down, and they need it to be very private. Typically, I see, maybe the subject matter of the community is more sensitive. Maybe they're working with some vulnerable or an at-risk population. Obviously, whatever reasoning, yeah, that's up to you. But we can make it so their community can't be found. There's no digital footprint. The only way somebody might find out about it is if they are directly invited by the admin. On the flip side of that, we also have folks who use their networked communities almost as a website. It's so available, it shows up in search engine results, it's clickable even to logged out users. That is all up to you. I would say a majority of our communities land somewhere in the middle, which is why I have this example pulled up. So I'm logged out of this community, and this is kind of a hybrid of some of it can be clickable, some of it can kind of get people's attention, and the rest of it would be behind that login. So they've made their newsfeed and their events calendar visible to kind of create that FOMO or spark that interest. But you could do this with any number of features and spaces on Networked. Now, the last layer of customization we are going to talk about is monetization. Now, I would say this is probably more of just a feature of Networked, but it does customize the experience when somebody is logging in for the first time. So I like to just throw it in, up top here. So you are able to monetize your community on Networked. A lot of people turn to Networked to monetize either their content or their access or their groups, anything like that. Now we look at it in two ways. One way being, I like to call it a la carte, but it's one-off payments, individually monetized items. Think purchase a course, download an ebook, something like that. Our most common is our subscriptions. A lot of our customers like the recurring revenue model. Now you can create as many subscriptions as you want on Network. You can add whatever access attached to those plans. It could be content, permission, access, anything like that. You can charge whatever you would like for those plans. You can also charge in whatever currency. I am in euros today for some reason, but we also charge in any currency that you might need to. Now, Network does not take a cut of anything that you sell in your community. It goes directly to you. We do use Stripe as our payment processor, so it is secure. Rest assured, we didn't decide to reinvent the wheel on that one. All right, well, let's go ahead and log in and see a little bit more about Networked. So calling out any customizations, branding choices you've made carry into here. So if you want to have dark blue backgrounds or orange font or anything like that, you absolutely can. Now, I mentioned our privacy policy, so I want to just briefly touch on that. As you can see, we've got a very social media look and feel to the platform here on Network. Now, while we do that intentionally, we want people to feel familiar, comfortable using the platform. We want it to be intuitive. We absolutely are not social media. We are our own platform. We are completely separate. Every community on Network is private, it's branded, it's white labeled. Unlike social media. The biggest difference and one of the biggest reasons that people come to Networked is our data policy. So when you have a community on Networked, you own 100% of everything. This is super uncommon in the community world, very unique to us, but things like content, comments, posts, you own, but also user data and information and contact information of your users. That is all owned by you. It's anonymized to the platform. We can't market to them. We can't sell it. They won't receive any advertising. Communities do not cross-pollinate. So very, very private and secure data-wise. Now I'm going to start working my way down this menu bar. As you saw, lots of customization, but I'm going to just throw out some examples of how communities use these different menu bars. I want to speak briefly to permission. And I've got a little bit of a silly analogy, so bear with me. But if you think of a hotel, you've got your more public areas. You're in the building, but you're in the lobby, or you're in the coffee shop. You also have your more gated areas. That might be individual guest rooms, it might be lounges, employee areas, anything like that. Obviously, a hotel is a physical building. They're giving out physical keys to delineate all of that access. We absolutely are not here to talk about building a hotel. To talk about that in 15 minutes is crazy. We're not going to be doing that. But think of that permission structure of who you are equals what you can access. And it might be different from everybody else. That is what we can do digitally here in Networked. Now we do that through spaces, which are these little icons on the left-hand side. And that is why this menu bar is so powerful. It's the nervous system or the skeleton structure of your community. Now, as you can see, you can name and organize these however you would like. You can turn on whichever feature you like once you have this all set up. You can also gate it, decide who has access to everything. So starting on our main feed or our lobby here, this is a great way to push out content and information announcements to your members. Anything in Network can trigger an individual notification. Those notifications can be in-app notifications on the web, push notifications on mobile, as well as email notifications. Everything in Network can also be shared externally, whether to social media or linked in individual communication. Coming very soon, you will also be able to create and send newsletters with Network. So you'll be able to communicate in a bunch of different ways with your members and prospective members. Now, moving on down this menu bar, we're going to get into these different spaces. Now, I always like to call out, this is definitely more of kind of a rapid fire style of these next few features. I also know that I'm guilty of talking pretty quickly. If you have questions, drop them in the Q&A. I will be sure to address those. A lot of times our customers like the feed feature for Q&A, product requests, recommendations, advice, anything like that. Great way to engage other members to be able to answer those questions. It is all searchable, so great for large groups. Sometimes our customers have small groups, cohorts, committees, anything like that. Chat can be a fantastic feature to turn on in those spaces as well. Now you'll see I have multiple features turned on in these last few spaces. Very unique to Networked. You are not limited to 1 or 2 features per space. You could turn every feature on in every space if you really wanted to. Anywhere in the Networked community, you can click on somebody's photo, be taken to their profile, and send them a message. But if you'd like to offer a way to search or filter members by experience or school or anything like that, and allow members to narrow it down to, let's say, someone who went to Penn State, and send Bruce a direct message, you have that option. Now you can create as many directories as you like. You can decide who is shown in what directory, who can see which directory. You can turn off messaging for everybody, turn off messaging for certain groups. You've got a ton of flexibility there. Same coin of that directory, we've got the companies. I guess same coin, reverse side. Didn't finish that thought. This can be really great for member organizations, sponsors, recommended products, affiliate codes, discount codes, anything like that. Again, search and filter. You've got a ton of flexibility on what can be shown in here. All of our text editors are very flexible. You can embed images, embed videos, anything like that. Now, moving on down to events. Events are typically a big part of communities. We saw that logged out view of the event from that example community, but logged in, you get much more information. I want to specifically call out our live video technology. So with Network, you get access to live video technology fully built into the platform. We do that through what we call live, which is more of like a webinar or a go live on social media like Instagram Live style. We also have Huddle, which is much more similar to like a group Zoom call, a group Google Meets call, or something like that, where everybody can interact. Virtual events always kind of lead us down the conversation of content. So using the media center features on Network, you can create separate libraries, you can, limit access to certain content, anything like that. All of our libraries are search and filter. So if you're more of an all-in-one library, you can absolutely do that. We also support custom tagging everywhere in the community so that making it easier to find things. Our media center is probably our most commonly monetized feature here on Networked. Typically that looks like a library or some assets for purchase. Those can be subscription or individually priced. But this is what that could look like. Now, brand new, so new that I'm using the screenshots. I don't have it built out just yet. We have courses available on Networked. So you would be able to create more of a structured learning experience using your various content, create lessons and modules. It can be videos, articles, anything like that. Create those quizzes. For certificates of completion, you would have access to all of that information as well. Now, courses, just like anything else in Networked, they can be individually monetized, wrapped in subscription, or available for free. Alrighty, going to our last feature of the day here, one of my personal favorites. Again, if there are any questions, please go ahead and start throwing those in the Q&A box. It should be at the bottom of your Zoom window, and I will get to those here shortly. Alrighty, one of my favorite features here on Network is our job board. It's a fully functioning job board. People can apply right through your space in Networked. Great for full-time roles like this. But I also see a lot of people use it for volunteer roles, mentorship positions or opportunities, advisory roles, filling board seats, even like speaking or teaching engagements. So lots of flexibility there. I just love it. It gives extra value to your members. Alrighty, well, I've got a little bit of sneak peek, a little bit of a special treat for everybody today. I get to highlight a feature that will be available, in the beginning of Q1 of 2026. So while I pull my sneak preview up, great opportunity to go ahead and put any questions that you might have into the chat. And then I will pull my screen up here. Awesome. So as you can see, lots of different ways that members can engage on Networked. Hopefully you can see that value that I was speaking about at the top is that all-in-one solution. Now, we want to make it even easier for your members to engage. As you can see, different menu bar, but here's what it will look like. We are adding this search at the top of our communities. It's an AI powered search to make it even smarter working with Networked. Now, again, everything in Networked can be renamed, so you can rename any of these features whatever you would like. But coming in to here, members can go ahead and post, discussions about performance reviews for a remote team. Example like that. Our new AI search will help aggregate all of that information into one screen for your members. This could be discussion posts like this. It'll also be content, courses, people, events, anything like that to help your members get what they're looking for even faster. Alrighty. Coming back over to our scheduled programming here, I see a couple questions in. Keep them coming. I see both of your questions. Give me about 90 seconds to talk a little bit about next steps, and then I will get into all of those questions. I always like to head it off. The most common question that I always get is, Emmy, this is cool. What do I do to learn more? It's a great question, as I mentioned at the top of the call, and I'll pull my screen down here in a minute so that you can see my contact info. I'm happy to meet one-on-one with everybody, but also everybody will be getting a link to a free trial. I think it's a fantastic choice. Some people are more learned by doing, some people are more learned by chatting. You have both of those options. Now, when your free trial is up, or if you're just kind of curious what's the commitment of all of this? Networked is a monthly subscription service. We do also offer an annual subscription. If you pay for the year up front, we give you 2 months off, but it is still a subscription. All of our subscriptions are no contract. They're upgrade, downgrade, cancel, change at any time. We've got 3 main plans. There's 4 components that go into the price of each plan. As you can see here, features, storage, number of admins, and support level. All of these plans access to the Networked mobile app. I did mention at the top of the call, we do offer our branded mobile app that is available with Networked Plus. I'm happy to answer any questions about that as well. Feature-wise, all of the features that we saw today, minus the AI, are available here at Basic. The AI will be added, I believe, to Professional, maybe Business, when that is live at the beginning of Q1. I always like to call out, if you are somebody who is particularly interested in analytics, you want to know what's going on and when in the community, I would highly recommend starting at that professional level. That is the plan that all of our robust, detailed analytics is available at. All right, I've got my contact information up again here. If you have questions, if you want to meet, scan that QR code, send me an email, anything like that. All right, got a couple questions here. One, pricing for Networked. Just showed that if you do have more questions about pricing or if you want to talk through any of the plans, definitely shoot me a note. Let's see, can our company's software products be accessed from Networked? It's a very interesting question. Absolutely. We have people do that a bunch of different ways where they either link their Networked community into their product or they link product or software to Networked. We've got people set that up about a couple different ways, but essentially we can add it to your menu bar and allow people to pop back out into your software products from Networked. Let's see, something about quizzes. How can this help us as a premium video courses host for our YouTube community? Okay, good question. So, this would be a way that you could add a little bit of extra value or unlock some more features for your community. Yes, you can host courses, they can have quizzes, you can host resources, chats, events, anything like that, and it's all housed in one place. We do work with folks who have subscribers and have a lot of do a lot of work on YouTube, and they link back to their community for kind of their premium subscribers. Typically, it's paid, it's not always paid, but it can be a great resource there. If you have specifics, if you want to send me an email, I can send you a few examples of how that might work on Networked. Wonderful. All right, that looks like all the questions we have for today. I'll stick around for maybe another minute just in case anybody's still typing. But I just want to take a quick moment to say thank you to everybody for joining and sticking around to the end. I do like all the questions. I love seeing all the faces on the webinar here today. I am looking forward to continuing the discussion with each and every one of you. But for now, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And I look forward to seeing your communities on Networked very soon. Thanks, everyone.